Eleanor here, and today I'm doing my TBR for September. It's my Snakes and Ladders Picks My TBR, and so I'm going to be rolling my dice again and seeing what Snakes and Ladders has in store. The way that I did it last month really worked, so I'm going to do that one again. I'm going to roll 2 dice, and the same rules apply. So I'm going to be putting prompts towards the different colours on the board, and if I land on them I have to pick a book that fits that prompt. I'm also going to have prompts for landing on the end square, going down a snake, going down the largest snake, so I'll tell you those quickly now. If I land on a red square this time, my daughter Matilda is going to pick me a book. If I land on green, then I'm going to pick a non-fiction book. If I land on white, I'm going to have to pick a book that starts with a letter in my first name, so an E, an L, an N or an A. I'm hoping this leaves it a little bit looser in case I don't fall on enough spaces for one of my other prompts, because there is a TBR for a readathon that I'm taking part in, and I really would like to try and have enough books for that too. If I land on blue, I'm going to pick a science fiction or fantasy book. If I land on yellow, I'm going to pick a book that fits one of the prompts for the Contemporary-athon readathon, which I'm taking part in this month. And as I said before, if I don't manage to hit enough of that colour, then hopefully I can find ones that fit the prompt and also fit the letters of my name. Who knows? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. If I go down a snake, that means that someone else gets to pick a book for me off my TBR, and that's probably going to be Matilda because she is my little helper. If I go down the biggest snake, then I have to pick one of the books that is on my sort of top 12 to read of the year. They're mainly quite big classic books, so we'll see if I land on that one. And if I land directly onto the final square of the Snakes and Ladders, I get to pick a book from this month. If I don't finish it, I get to pass it on to next month, so that might come in handy as a bit of a bonus. And as always, when I reach the end, I will pick one graphic novel to read, because it just pushes me to pick up those graphic novels a bit more. So let's get rolling and see what happens. Okay, so it's a white, and that is a book that starts with a letter of my name. And my name's Eleanor. It's spelled E-L-E-N-A. So I have E, L, N and A to choose from. I'm going to try and fit these into my Contemporary-athon TBR, which makes it doubly difficult. The prompt for this I'm going to go for, I think, is released in 2019. I'm going to go for this. It's a proof copy that I picked up in a second-hand shop. It's called American Royals by Catherine McGee. It comes out this month, so it ticks the box of 2019 release. It starts with an A, there's an A in my name. And this one is about Washington's most scandalous royal family ever. Oh, the Washingtons, sorry, the most scandalous royal family ever. So you've got the princess, who's the rebel, the heir, the schemer and the nobody, and 4 women navigating sort of royalty and gossip, etc. So I'm looking forward to this one for sure. Okay, green means non-fiction, so I have picked Marilyn and Me by Jim and Lee. This has recently come into my house. It's quite small. It's one I'm really interested in. It's about Marilyn Monroe when she goes over to Korea at the end, oh no, she goes to Seoul in Korea in 1954, at the end of the Korean War, and it's about Alice, a translator, and it's all about her really. I'm intrigued by this one. It just sounds really interesting. Okay, green means non-fiction, and I've picked one that is new onto my TBR, Savage Appetites, 4 True Stories of Women, Crime and Obsession by Rachel Monroe. This is following 4 different women in 4 different situations, and it's sort of true crime. I can't wait to see how this one's written, how it works. It's quite an interesting way of looking at things, and I think it'll either work or it won't, and it's not massive, so it's a great one for my back to school TBR. Okay, a yellow, which means something for my Contemporary-athon TBR, and I'm going to go for yellow on the cover. I didn't get this. I bought this second hand. I only got it like this. It didn't have a cover on it, so I'm counting it. It is completely yellow. And this is How Do You Like Me Now by Holly Bourne. I don't know anything about this. I'm going to go into it a bit blind. I think it's one of Holly Bourne's only or her only adult contemporary book, so we'll see. Okay, it's yellow, so it's another one from my Contemporary-a-thon TBR, and this time I'm going to go for the diverse prompt, and so for that I'm picking Birthday by Meredith Russo. I don't know what diversity this has in it, but I know it does, and I don't want to really know much more than that. It's a love story, as it says on the front, and it's about Eric and Morgan born on the same day at the same time in the same place, and this one day that they've shared together. So I'm really looking forward to reading this. I haven't read Meredith Russo before, so yeah. Meredith wrote If I Was Your Girl, which I haven't read, but I really should. And oh, look at the rainbow spine, it's lovely. So that must mean there's some diversity, surely. I don't know, maybe it's just birthday colours, but if you've read this, let me know if I am wrong. It's white, and again I'm going to try and fit this into the Contemporary-a-thon TBR. For this one I'm going for Plant on the Cover prompt. There is a plant on this cover, and this is one I picked up at Yalk. I don't know much about it. It's called Lily's Just Fine by Jill Stewart. It's book one of a series, so it's going to be a series called The Galloway Girls. So I think this is set in Scotland, and it's going to be a dual perspective about Lily, who lives in the best house in town and has everything she wants, and she's dating the most popular boy, but there's something going to happen. Oh, Tom, who has enough on his plate without trying to drag Newton St Cuthbert into the 21st century. His sister's sick and there's nothing anyone can do. And then I think there's going to be some sort of romance between Tom and Lily, and two sort of worlds colliding, and it sounds fun, and it starts with an L. There's an L in my name. It's got a plant on the cover. Tick, 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 tick. Yay! And so it's yellow, so my Contemporary-a-thon TBR. This prompt I'm going for is the illustrated cover, and for that I have picked My So-Called Bollywood Life by Nisha Sharma. This is illustrated, right? It's a picture. I'm assuming that's what illustrated means. This looks really fun. It's about a Bollywood film fanatic, Winnie Mehta, who's grown up convinced her future is written in the stars. Her family's pandit predicted she would find love of her life before she turned 18, and her boyfriend Raj ticks all the boxes. But when they break up just months before her 18th birthday, she feels lost. Then a fellow film geek Dev challenges Winnie to look beyond her horoscope for her happily ever after and take the future into her own hands. With the help from family, friends and a Bollywood movie star, Winnie is about to discover that you can't live life by the script. I think this just sounds really heartwarming. So I've gone down a snake, which means that Matilda gets to pick. It's out of control.
So I'm going to pick a book for my mum now. I'm going to search on this shelf. I might already have one in my plan, but I might look at the others just see, in case I might have changed my mind. I've got lots of these books here. So I've got this floaty one. Don't think I'll have that one. I've got Catwoman.
Okay, Catwoman's a choice. Okay, what else?
The Story of Beautiful Girl.
The Story of a Beautiful Girl.
And then No Big Deal. I think I might go for Catgirl.
Catwoman.
Catwoman.
Hold it up nicely so we can see it. And so she has decided to pick this one, as you will have seen in the last clip. Catwoman by Sarah J Maas. So it's about time I tried one of these sort of book series about superheroes which are written by various authors. This one is about Selena Kyle, and yeah, we'll see how I get on. It's not one that's been calling to me, so this will give me the push I need to read it. A book starts with the letter of my name. I'm going to try and fit it into Contemporary-a-thon, and this prompt for Contemporary-a-thon is a book that is loved by a booktuber, and I am going for this one. It is loved by loads of booktubers, not one specifically, but loads, and it is Kristin Hannah's The Nightingale. This has been off and on my TBR for ages, forever, and I know I'm gonna love it. I've read one of her other books. I've loved that book. I love her writing. Why am I procrastinating? This one needs to be read. It starts with an N. I'm forgetting about the because I'm struggling to find one that fits, so I'm going for the N. Nightingale, Eleanor. It's in my name. I'm gonna read it. Maybe it's because it's set in wartime. I don't know, but it's gonna be done. It's bound to be hard-hitting and fill me with tears, and I'm gonna love it. So it's gonna be done. Okay, so another white, and so I've got to pick letters of my name. So for that, I'm going for An Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir. I've actually read this book before, and I think I gave it 4 stars. I didn't finish the trilogy. It's a long time, and I've forgotten what it's about. And I recently put some pictures on a Twitter poll and asked you which series I should start, and this is the one that won. So this month, I'm going to listen to this. I think this one on audiobook. And so it fulfills the prompt, but it also gets me started back into this series or this trilogy that I want to read, so I'm going to pick this one for that. Okay, a red, which means Matilda gets to pick, so let's see which one she picks. All right, go and pick. Why have you picked this one, Matilda?
Well, I like the front cover because it looks like she's holding like a marble or a donut thing inside her mouth, and just looks very good on the front, and it's called, can't really read it, but I can read it, but I just can't read it.
What do you think it might be called?
I think it might be called Alarina at the Doll.
Ah, it's The Valley of the Dolls. Thank you. So she has picked Valley of the Dolls by Jacqueline Susan. This is a modern classic, really, I suppose, that I really should have read, and yeah, bless her on the donut. This one is about these women, I think, in this sort of area that take these capsules that are meant to sort of keep them under control, I think. I don't know much about this, but everyone loves this cult classic that I know that's read it, so I can't wait to finally get stuck in myself. There's been many times it's been on my TBR, but it hasn't been conquered, and now I must, or it must leave the shelf. So yeah, this is going to happen this month. Okay, so it's yellow, and that is another Contemporary-a-thon TBR pick. This time the prompt I'm going for is diverse and hard, dark and hard hitting, and so I'm going to go for Badger by C.M. McKenna. I picked this up because the lovely Sarah had read it, and I think this sounds really dark for sure. I'm not going to go into details because my daughter is in the room, but this is a romance between 2 people who meet. One is a vigilante who is going out and saving people in trouble. One is someone that gets saved by the vigilante and then decides to stage her own suicide in order to get rescued again, and their dark relationship that they then form from that. So interesting, dark, definitely. Looking forward to seeing what I think. Okay, so I landed directly on the end, which means I get a free pass at the end of this month if there's one that I want to pass on to the next month, which I'm pleased about. And my graphic novel that I have picked to read this month is The Prince and the Dressmaker by Jen Wang. This is about a prince who at night likes to dress in amazing fashions and take Paris by storm in his sort of alter ego, and it's about his dressmaker and their relationship, and I think it sounds lovely. So that is my TBR for September. There's some really exciting ones on there. I'm looking forward to taking part in Contemporary-a-thon. Yeah, let me know if you've read any of these, if you like the sound of any of these, and what you're doing for September. What's your reading look like? Anyway, that's it from me, and I look forward to speaking to you soon. Bye for now, BookTube.